Welcome to a new project, and I already did some work on this one. So the idea is to make another big chunky boy Primaris dreadnought, like I also did for the previous Iron Hands dreadnought. I built that one quite a while ago. It was a very cool build because I wanted to make him look like a Cataphractii Terminator. And this actually is going to be an Iron Hands dreadnought as well. And quite a similar vein, but the idea here is that this will be more like a Techmarine dreadnought. So I made an Apothecary dreadnought a while back, which was quite cool. And now in a bit of a continuation of that theme, the next one is a Techmarine dreadnought. He needs to have a big gun, of course, and like a servo arm on his shoulder or on his back. A bit like the new Iron Warriors Terminator that was just previewed by Games Workshop, which looks really cool. So the idea is to scale that up a bit. So I already put some things together. Didn't film that because it's not very interesting. The biggest part of the torso, the frame. This part is still separate because I think I want to build a different body in there. But this is all glued in place, and I removed one of the engines because this is where I want to make something for the servo arm and two legs. And the legs, normally they have a pin here that makes it stuck in a certain position. I removed the pin and I removed a little bit of the plastic here so that it moves further, so it can now bend completely and step on something is the idea. So let's make something cool out of this. Something I also did is normally if you assemble it, the coffin is sticking out really much a lot to the front, and it gets even better if you add all the armor, because there's a small thing here as well. It becomes a bit like a pot belly. That's what it looks like to me. I don't like that look too much. And in some artworks, and also in the original dreadnought, the boxy one, to my idea, it's a bit more tilted this way, so that it points down instead of just forward. So that's what I'm going for here as well. And for that I had to cut away a bit of the plastic here. But this way I should be able to tilt it a bit. That's the plan, at least. Alright. Alright, progress so far. This is where I'm at. I did some more work on the torso, as you can see. I gave him some plastic card shoulder pads to make it look more like the Cataphractii armor. Now there's a couple of more things that I want to do, and that's mainly to work on this plate, because if I look at the Tartaros, it has more of a rounded torso, and I need to do something about the waist. So what's going to be here, I'm not sure yet, and I'm also looking at adding maybe some plates there, or like a shield or something, in the same style of the Tartaros armor. I need to trim this side a little bit. I'm quite happy with this side here, but the other one needs a bit of work, and that's mainly because the idea is to add this. So as I promised, this is going to be a Techmarine style dreadnought. So he needs some servo arms or some servo harnesses or something like that to give him like a crane at the back, and some utensils here. But this is still too wide to make this fit properly. So I want to give him a shoulder mounted cannon on the other side, and then probably something like a claw like this. This is the hand that's supposed to go on there for the Redemptor. I think it's a bit too big and a bit too clunky for what I'm looking for. This is the one from the Leviathan dreadnought. And these blades I'm probably going to switch out for some more grabby stuff. Something like this maybe, I don't know. And the final thing that I made is this. The eye. For the previous Iron Hands dreadnought, what I did is I made a more like a venerable dreadnought style cockpit. So with an actual Space Marine helmet as a head or a face. And for this one I want to go more like technical route. So I want to go back to the sarcophagus a bit more. So the idea is to do something like this. So there we go. I think it's going the right direction. Needs quite a bit of work still, but we're getting there. Alright, time for another update. This is where we're at right now. Quite a bit further. Did a couple of things. This part is still separate. Still need some work. And here you can see the proper new sarcophagus with the single eye, the Cyclops. So the shoulder pads still need a little bit of work to give them a bit more detail. But now he has a shoulder mounted gun. The claw is there, and he has this nice tentacle coming out of it as well. He has an additional little claw here. This one is not glued in place yet, so I still need to figure out how I want to place it and what I want to do with it. But at least he has this nice circular saw. And I'm building this the crane on the back. And I started cabling. Cabling is always the most important part of these things. More cables is more nice. I got a cloth from the war dogs, which looked quite nicely. And you need something like a belt buckle still here. I'm not sure what that's gonna be. Maybe this one? Probably. Worked a lot on the base, so this is gonna be mostly a rubble base. Now what I really want to do is build this crane on the back. So the idea is to have something like a chain and have the hook up to here. And then I'll be using the chain to run from the feet to the pulley and then down and then up again. Something like that. That's the idea. So that's going to be most of the next part, I think, and to make it more grimdark as well, because it's quite clean right now. So that's it for now. See you next time. Alright, welcome back. He's really almost done. I added more cables, I added a lot of work to the claw, I added a crane, and I started some work on the gun, as you'll see. So let's do a quick round. Yeah, so here's the torso. I added heaps more cables and some cables to the eye again, which I think looks pretty cool. This thing here is from the Warhound Titan. I added some rims to the shoulder pads to give it a little bit more detail, and I added some stripes here as well, which I think look quite cool. I started work on the cannon, the last cannon. Added some big cables, which are still supported by some putty right now. And the crane, of course, that was one of the big parts still missing. So I had these parts separated before, and I had a chain still. And this is actually the shoulder from the arm, but then rebuilt a little bit. Added a cog to reel in the chain. Yeah, so the hook's stowed away on the ring here. So I built some pistons, one piston here and another piston there, which I think look very cool. So it's two sizes of plastic rod, and then added some green stuff connectors. And here we have a small skull shrine with heaps of cables running out of it. And then there is the claw, which I added a lot more cabling. I really like the way this one turned out, that he's like holding up his hand to grab something. And then he can saw it into bits. So here we are, the final product. He's all done. Finished all the final details, like the strips here. The cannon's now fixed in place. And all the detailing is done. So I added some extra cables and some extra skulls. And I'm really very happy with how it turned out. The top is still separate from the bottom, so that I can paint the sub-assemblies. And what I also did is I left the front plate still separate. There's some cables underneath there that will stick to the body, but for now it's just one separate piece. And I really like how the arm turned out. I think it's looking proper menacing and grimdark as well. So then to compare it to the goal again, so this is the Cataphractii Terminator that I built a while ago, and which I tried to emulate the look of, but then in dreadnought form. And I think, yeah, we're quite close, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so the next step is to get this on the painting table, spray it with some primer, and then get some color on there. It's gonna be in iron hands, so mainly black and white and red, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in full color instead of gray, purple and green and white. Yeah, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.